Hello everyone and welcome to the week 3 tutorial on how to create a composite banner. In this video you'll learn how to use Adobe Photoshop to create a composite banner image in which we will combine 3 images together. Here's an example of a composite banner and we have 3 things to consider. Does it look realistic? Do the colors, textures, and lighting match? And make sure to incorporate a person or group of people, and when you do so, remember to remove the background. I'm going to take some photos that I got from the copyright-free image websites. Now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and open up Adobe Photoshop, and then I'm going to create a new document. I'm selecting a web banner. So here's one that I've selected, and I'm going to go ahead and just create. Now we're going to import an image in Adobe Photoshop. So we're going to click File, and then we're going to scroll down to Place Embedded. Now you're going to find the folder in which you saved all your images. I have it saved here to my desktop, and here are all of the images that I am going to use to create my composite banner. I'm going to select the image, click Paste. You can drag and resize your image by holding Shift. And then once I'm comfortable, I'm going to select the check mark, which automatically imports it into the Adobe application. I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of the images, and then we will move on to the next step. How to remove backgrounds in Photoshop. For this step, I'm going to select my subject, and there are several tools to use. Next, I'm going to select the magnetic tool, which is another option. With the magnetic tool, it allows you to make selections that snap onto the object you're trying to select. What you see here is a quick demonstration on how you can use the magnetic lasso tool. If you get this error message, that just means that your image is not editable just yet. So this is how you can make your image editable. Simply right click on your image and you will select rasterize layer. Now your image is editable, and now you're able to delete any of the unwanted areas for your image. But I'm going to go back and show you an easier way to remove the background from your subject. Select the select button at the top, you go down to subject, and it will automatically highlight the subject itself. Now, you may have to make a few adjustments. You will select the quick selection tool and change the minus or subtract to add, in which you're going to add to the initial selection. And all you have to do is just click and drag over the area, and it will automatically change your selection and add more to your image that you are wanting to cut out. As you can tell here, the black color of the tire is blending in with the black color of the shadow. Once you selected your image, you can copy and paste that, and it will create a new layer. Now I'm just going to go back to my tools, and I'm going to use the magnetic lasso tool to try to get very close and separate the shadow from the tire. You can also use the polygonal tool, and this also helps as you are able to get a little closer to removing the background of your image and to create a sharp, clean removal for your subject. Now remember, this does not have to look perfect because we are going to eventually end blending the photos. Now here is the difference between the photo that was cut out and then also the original photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and change the name of this photo so that I know for myself and to stay organized. Next, I'm going to select my background, and I am just deciding which background blends best. And I like this image as the image with the gravel and the original motorcycle looks great. However, I want to keep my subject, so I'm just going to cut out the gravel and I'm going to use those same tools that I used before. So I'm going to use the quick selection tool to select my ground. And again, you can play around with the add and subtract as well as the size of the quick selection tool. Maybe a smaller size may help with picking up the part of the image that you are wanting to grab. So play around and do not be afraid to make some mistakes because you can always go back. Now that I have the portion of the gravel, which I would like to use in my composite banner, I'm just going to copy and paste, and it created its own layer. And now I see just a little bit of the image that did not get deleted. So I'm going to just use my eraser, and I'm going to make sure that my eraser is small so it does not erase some of the image that I would like to keep. And that is very, very simple. Now you can just add your subject back, and you can see that the two images are really good together, work really good together. So I am just playing around as far as placement, and now I am going to select a background for this composite banner. How to blend images in Photoshop. Now that we have selected our subject, and I also have an additional image that I'm going to use as gravel, I am now going to select this background. I think that it looks best and the colors work well together. And I'm going to just adjust my subject. I am also going to move my layers so that they are together. Now the layers that you are not going to use, it's great to have those originals. So I'm dragging those into a folder, and I'm going to create a folder that says original photos. And then I'm going to turn off that layer so that I do not see that folder or any of those images from that folder while I am editing my new composite banner. I am also creating a new folder for my composite banner to throw in the images that I am going to select. Now, after I've added my background, I also want to create some sort of effect out of these clouds. Now you're going to go up to your blend modes, and I'm going to just play around with it. There are so many different options, and I prefer you to go through every single option because you just do not know what you might get. And depending on your goal when creating your design, I suggest you to play around with the different blend modes. And also change the opacity and the feel, and just to see what works best. I think this looks really good. I'm just going to turn down the fill a little bit so that I can still see a little bit of the clouds effect, but I really think that this helped blend all of the images together. This is how you export your composite banner in Adobe Photoshop. You're going to go to File, go all the way down to Save As. When you go to Save As, you are able to select different formats. I'm going to select the JPEG format, and I'm also going to change the name of my image. And now you just click save. You can click OK. And this is what the final image looks like. Thank you again for watching. I hope that this video was very helpful for you to create your own composite banner. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. And if you missed our week 3 Adobe Photoshop replay, make sure to go back to watch that. And please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any additional questions. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.